But basically, this is just going to be called the 1% podcast. Is that correct?
Yeah, 1% sounds good. It sounds kind of cocky. We'll probably change it.
Should it just be called 1% to keep things very minimal, or should it be called the 1% podcast?
Probably the 1%. That's all I would.
Well, the 1%. You guys are gonna vote.
We'll play around with it.
Yeah.
After the 5th episode, we'll probably get into it, and whatever goes off the tongue easier. Also for introductions.
No, literally, it's gonna flow.
It's gonna flow. Whatever flows the best. What suits us and suits the audience.
Whatever you guys think, we're gonna figure it out. But I also want you guys to vote because your input is extremely valuable, especially when John throws random shit around the room. But so in today's episode, we have a couple of great topics for you guys. Questions that you guys have asked, random questions that we have for each other. So
a lot of followers reach out and ask questions.
We can't call them followers though, bro. That's rude.
Okay, a lot of our communities like to reach out and ask.
Yeah, a lot of people in our communities. These are people.
It's busy. Yeah, well, a lot of people ask questions and we don't have time to answer them, and we need. And I feel like he's taking a piss right now. I know y'all guys probably can't see him, but just imagine someone peeing directly.
I promise you guys.
You know, like when you go to take a piss in the morning, males, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, all guys will get this one.
And you hit nothing but water, just straight.
I put my phone down on the counter. I was like, how long is this piss about to be? It was legit 1 minute and 3 seconds, dog. I was just sitting there.
We can hold it, though.
Yeah. I'm talking about the morning piss.
Yeah.
Comment below. What is the average of your morning piss? What is your average? I want you guys to do this. Go record one morning, set an alarm or some shit, and just see how long your morning piss is. I want to know.
No, 7 days, take the average. No,
I'm not going to lie. That would be a legitimate average. Because it is not an average time if you just record once. That's not an average.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
No, this could be very purposeful. You can drink as much water as you want. You can make your average longer if you want.
All that creatine that I'd be taking, I'd be drinking so much water, so, and there's the pissing again.
Well, yeah, I don't even take creatine anymore, honestly. You don't? No, I don't. The only thing I take is Clear Muscle, H&B free acid, ATP, and sometimes I take my multivitamins, zinc, and D.
So when you're going into it, you take Clear Muscle.
I take Clear Muscle, which is H&B free acid, which is something that you're missing usually in the gym. I take my vitamin D, D3, and K2 from gym, obviously. I just take a zinc supplement and I put in the vegan capsules. I get them on Amazon for like $10. Yeah. And then I take ATP, which is like a pre-workout. Mm-hmm. And this, what it does is it stops the lactic acid buildup whenever you're working out, so it's lit. Yeah. But that's all I really take. I don't even take creatine and protein and all that shit anymore, which is why I don't post it on my stories.
Well, I feel more of building muscle and volume and lifting.
Well, I've been trying to get back too.
That's what you.
Yeah, like after my shoulder injury, I was like, I need everything to rebuild the structure that I had before, basically. Yeah. So.
Well, so why I told you to slow it down. These are kind of bloopers, but.
No, these aren't bloopers. This is the podcast now, bro. We're going.
Okay. Well, then when you when you are talking about it, those supplements should pop up.
Oh, it's going to. It's going to.
And then it makes it flow a little bit better. And then you put your gym code in the box.
Code J, baby.
That way you can start making more money on that. No,
I mean, honestly, I have never
pushed your code.
I've never pushed my code. Like the most I've ever made was $1,000 in a month.
So for you not to push your code and me not know that you were sponsored for like the first 3 months of me knowing you made me feel more that I could trust.
Yeah, because I don't care about stealing money.
It tells me to use this code all the time. I actually the other day walked into GNC and said, my friend has a code and I'm not going to use it.
What the fuck? Who is this guy, bro? What an asshole. You guys hear this shit? John is a hater. He doesn't like gym subs. Don't sponsor him.
No. I bought gym subs. I just didn't, I didn't want him to get his cut because fuck that guy. No,
Wow. So he basically just didn't want to get a 15% discount is what I'm hearing, you guys. That sucks for him, but it is what it is. That's why your fucking mic is hanging from the ceiling.
oh, yeah, no, well, that's because I guess I'm ordering a...
Yeah, you go on, it's like literally $10 for this little mic stand shit. Like, go on Amazon and search mic stand.
I think it's more futuristic and gives a modern view of hanging from a thread.
Yeah, so go on Amazon right now and look up mic stand and order it. It's $10. Show the camera. Do it now. 1% better every day, guys.
I don't think buying a mic stand will really...
It will elevate the podcast. There you go.
$10.
Investment. That's the one I have. Just get that one. It's increased in. I've had this for 10 years, bro.
Okay.
It's increased in price. Inflation.
Yeah. Bro's like, yeah, $10 out of nowhere.
I do have my laptop here today. We actually have some very important questions that you guys have recently asked that I want to go over. And you guys, I told you in the last podcast that me and John were doing. We posted on the story. We told you guys we're doing a podcast. We wanted you guys to ask some questions that we could answer directly. And we didn't post that podcast specifically because we did not answer your questions at the time. But today we're actually answering 8 of your guys' questions and 8 of our own questions. So I guess the first thing that we can hop into is honestly this question.
So when you basically are training people, do you need your credentials to train, or do you need any other schooling to become a training or personal fitness?
Online? Or just generally speaking?
Just like, have you ever been asked, hey, what are you specialized in? Do you need schooling?
That's actually a very good question, my friend.
Yeah, do people think that you need specific training to become a personal trainer, basically?
So it's actually very interesting that you asked that, because I've never been asked for a certificate. I've never been asked for school. I've never been asked how many people I've trained.
So it's strictly based off trust, like seeing your body, your physique.
Yes.
Basing it off of trust.
No, it's literally 100% based off your body. And I'll say, like, just very quickly to not bore you guys to death, but like,
yeah.
As an online trainer that nobody knows where the fuck you came from, if you look and talk and preach and live the life that they want, they're not going to ask you for a certificate. They're not going to ask you for a NASM certificate. Because when I trained people, out of the 600, I had 580 clients to this day in personal training. But I just rounded off to 600.
Nobody knows that, though, because...
I trained 20 coaches, online coaches, and then I trained 580 people that wanted to change their life.
But if, like I'm saying, if you were in the gym, nobody comes up to you and sees you working out. Everyone thinks you're just working out by yourself, basically.
Usually.
Say you're working out with a friend. Someone thinks you're just working out with a friend because most of your clients become your friend or become very close. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you have to have that positive relationship, like that reinforcement, basically.
So no one would know that. So what does a piece of paper really do for you?
It doesn't do anything as long as you look like you know what you're doing. And that's where I'm going to go with that is...
Unless you're making a T-shirt saying, hey, I have my credentials. And it's like...
Then people are going to ask you for it. Because like, I had a lot of coaches online that would say, people are always asking for my credentials. I don't have money for this. I can't go to school for NASM or whatever because it's like $1,200, $2,000. When it comes to training, the very first thing that I would do as a personal trainer is firstly look like you know how to train and look and eat like you would, what you would want your client to look up to.
So if you show that you can be disciplined, then other people will follow.
Oh, 100%. Like, I don't need certificates. I don't need my NASM. I don't need to prove to you that I know how to get right. I look good. I eat good. Granted, I've been given good genetics, but at the same time, if you look good, you eat good, you showcase, like I said before, you do all that, nobody's going to ask you for a certificate. Online, you don't need a certificate. As long as you're giving somebody good guidance, good knowledge, you're delivering quality information, you're actually caring and assessing them in the proper way. Like, you assess them, you give them their plan, you stay on top of them, and you continue to reevaluate their program. If you do that, you will be able to provide not only good quality care that they will buy from you every month, they're not going to ask you for a certificate because you already look like you know what you're doing, and you do know what you're doing. You don't need a certificate unless you're going to do like... If you're going to be a nutritionist or if you're going to assess somebody that has cancer or diabetes, get some extra knowledge around that. Get some extra nutritional or biological knowledge.
Obviously.
But yeah, nobody's ever asked me. I don't need it because I look like I know what I'm doing,
Yeah, exactly. You don't need the paperwork to back you up. You already have the discipline. You already have the physique. And you already have everything that people are already coming to you to build.
Like when I refer people to you, nobody ever asks you, did you go to school for mechanics? No, you know what you're doing. You are very frequently around vehicles. You look like you know what you're doing. You have a big tool set that very clearly states you know what you're doing. So it's like, if you have the visual representation and you talk like you know what you're talking about, and I mean, like, these are things to describe yourself if nobody knows you.
Okay, to go back into it, say 5 years ago or something, you probably didn't have the physique that you've had now.
Skinny
you
bitch.
You don't have the networking that you have now. You don't have the people that you can refer out to and stuff. So back then, maybe a paper would have helped you, but with anything, you need to put in time and effort into it for people to believe and trust in you. No one's going to believe you in the start, except us maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's a whole nother segment, bro, because we're both past 10K. If you're a brand new trainer online, you have less than 1,000 followers, because followers do matter. Sorry to say, but they do. You know, go back and do everything that I just said, basically. If you have under 1,000 followers, you don't have the body, you don't have the certificate, you don't have the presence, you don't have the referrals. What you need to do is go back and do everything that I mentioned about 5 minutes ago.
If you only have 1,000 followers and you really are serious about becoming a trainer, you need to focus on and
you do need to grow your social media.
Grow your social media, get more networking.
Networking is important. Social media is important. Understanding content delivery is important, because you're going to have to make videos for your clients. You have to send them videos. You're going to have to send them comprehensive guides, because it's much easier to sit down.
You have to do PDFs. You're going to have to do.
No, it's easier to just sit down and do a video or a voice audio than do a PDF and Google Sheets and all that shit trainers used to do. It's so much easier if you can just make a quality piece of content. So if you can learn how to make content and run social media, you're good. You're good.
And it speeds your process up, and it allows you to do more clients per month.
So, like, for you, you got your first 10K on Instagram in less than 90 days.
Well, yeah, I took the program.
I mean, but how was that for you? Like,
but you addressed what I needed to assess, and
but you told me you'd never made a video before that.
No, I posted just regular. Oh, we went here.
Well, Snapchat videos, but you never posted content. Like, you never did, because me and David have been making full-length YouTube videos since like 2012. It was just crazy to hear that, because I was like, all guys when they're younger, they like making videos. They want to make Minecraft videos, or they go out in the woods and they do paintball and shit, like most guys usually do.
Actually, if we're gonna be real, I kind of lied to you. I just don't
What
want
a
you
piece
to.
of shit.
I just don't want you to, dig deep enough to find the video. But I think I posted a YouTube video like
I could find anything on you that I wanted.
10, I think. It was me and my buddy playing basketball in my front yard, and I think my little sister recorded.
It's better than fucking seeing David beat the shit out of kids.
We definitely came a long way, and social media has definitely grown in a different.
Bro, from somebody who had never used social media before, never edited, never done anything, and you created and made a profile?
I will say it's easy. The hardest thing is coming up with the name, and the hardest thing is just having the confidence in posting it.
I would say coming up with the name is hard, because everybody overthinks the fuck out of the name.
I guess. I mean, like I said, it's an overthinking. I put JP Journey just to. It's a journey. It's JP is my initials and my first name, and we're going on a journey. And whether that's fitness, money, cars, girls, girl. My bad.
I mean, but we're going on a journey is you are taking your people on a journey. Granted, you are singular. You have one mate. You're going to marry her, or we're confident that you're going to marry her, and that's your girl. Either way, you're taking the guys on the journey for everything that they want, type shit.
The community is a journey now. Whether y'all surpass me, or I surpass y'all, or whether we grow together, wherever that may be, it's a journey. So that's why I came up with that.
I like that. I like where you actually came up with JP Journey, because, I mean, I thought it was pretty simplistic, because David changed the name because we have SWD as an LLC, and then we came up with Nashvigo, because we started an online agency, another one.
I feel like that. I really like SWD, but
well, we're still doing SWD. It's still a media company, but we changed the name 4-5 times, and that's kind of where I would like to say, keep it simple, make it your name, make it a word that you like. What I did for most of my shit back in the day is I would go on Google, and I would search masculine Greek mythology names, and you would just get some cool ass fucking names that pop up. Or ask ChatGPT. Now that's the thing.
Yeah, ChatGPT is. I like Roman. I like Roman features.
Oh, Roman, yeah. Well, Greek and Roman are both very close.
Similar, but yeah.
I like that.
I would more Roman numerals.
Keep your name simple, you guys. Don't focus on the name. Don't focus on the colors. Start posting content. Start making content.
Well, you can always start over.
Yeah, you can always start over. You can always rebrand.
Started over. David started over and
His account's doing well.
doing a lot better than his older account.
No. He started over. Okay, so that's actually very interesting you say that because David started over and made a new account.
It wasn't because he didn't like his content. It's because the algorithm changed and he needed to change it. But that's goes to speak. If you don't like an account, you can always delete an account. It's not going to be gone forever.
He didn't even delete it. He kept it.
But I'm saying he kept it. But I'm saying later on, like if you're like, oh, those videos were cringy, corny, whatever it may be.
I private mine.
Private it.
The timeline will tell, and numbers do tell. Don't always, kind of. I wouldn't say be solely dependent on the scale. Like obviously, this is a brief description of like be truthful to yourself and be truthful to those around you. But be mindful of the truth. But like, yeah, kind of relating like going off of the how people lie to their friends and shit when it comes to the doctor. People usually do it because they're guilty. They feel guilty, or they're ashamed that they haven't been doing or they are doing something they're not supposed to do. And I will say with full confidence, when I go to the doctor, I'm completely transparent with them. Like if they ask, do you smoke weed or have you been doing this or do you sleep properly? I am extremely transparent with them simply because
they study the body, dude.
Well, some of them know and some of them don't. But if you're lying to your fucking doctor, if you're lying to your friends, they can't give you accurate feedback to help you because they don't know your case. They don't know what you've been doing. They don't know the truth. Yeah. Like literally, a very simple example of this is if you smoke weed and you're going to get your tooth pulled, you need to be very honest that you smoke weed because when they give you, what is it called? The what is the drug that they give you that nulls pain? When they give you, when they give you the anesthesia, it's not going to work because you already have psychedelic effects and psychological.
They have to give you a larger dose. Yeah, exactly. But they didn't know. They didn't know that.
I said, give me a fat fucking dose because I smoke a lot of weed. That's what I told them. But if you're not honest, they cannot give you advice and they cannot give you anything that's actually directed at you at all.
I'm a mechanic, so technically translate it to cars now, basically. So if you come in and say, hey, yeah, I changed my oil on time. This is what this car gets serviced at this. If you are fully transparent with me on your car, I know where the problem, I know where to locate the problem. You know what I mean? I know where.
Because you'll have a checklist that you already went through. Prerequisite.
Exactly. So it's the same thing with a doctor. I mean, they're going through.
It's the same thing with doctors and friends, though. Yeah. Friends is the same. They can't give you that support and feedback that you need if you're not honest. Yep. Your doctors can't give you the support and feedback. If you, first of all, being honest, like you said before, it's a truth to yourself and it's a truth to others. Yeah. But nobody can help you if you're not even honest. Like, they just don't even know where to start.
I think so. A lot of people try to make up this. They could have the best life out there, and they can have great friends, great family, great loved ones around them, and they could still be making up a lie to impress somebody. Why? Why do you want to throw away like the best features you have of your life, and they'll take it and just change it or add many lies just to make it seem like they're bigger than they really are when they really are happy? You know what I mean?
I mean, do you want to know why the people do that? I have a theory as to why people lie consecutively. My theory as to why people consecutively lie about who they are and what they do is firstly comparison, constantly comparing themselves to other people, whether it's family, brothers, influencers, whatever the case may be. People usually lying about what they do and how they do and the numbers that they make usually comes from comparison. It usually comes from insecurity. It usually comes from self-deficiency. And a lot of times it just comes from wanting to impress those around you with a image of what you are not. But a lot of times that really doesn't help. They think that if they impress people, they're going to look better, they're going to make more, but there's really no end to it other than looking a certain way for certain people. Yeah. And that doesn't help you at all. That doesn't pay the bills at all. Nope. It really comes fully from insecurity and feeling guilty that you're not doing something that you should be doing. If you're telling people that you make $1 million within your business and you don't really look like it, right? Or actually, this is a bad example. If you're making $1 million in your business,
100,000.
yeah. If you tell everybody you make $1 million and you make 100,000, and sure, you dress nice, you buy watches or whatever the case may be, and you're talking to a billionaire, if they think that you're making $1 million, he's not going to be able to give you any accurate information to scale. He's not going to be able to give you applicable information to help you because you're lying about it. And first of all, the thing about lying to people who are doing something that you want to do, this is very big, and I want everybody to listen to this shit. If you are lying about trying to do something, or if you are lying about scaling something to somebody who has already done it, they will smell that shit from a mile away.
100%.
Because there are certain experiences that they have gone through. There are certain systems. There are certain lingo. There is a certain set of prerequisite and knowledge that somebody that is a billionaire versus a six-figure business owner will know. And if you're bullshitting to this billionaire, 1, he can't help you. 2, he can smell it. And 3, you're not impressing this guy at all. So there's really no reason to lie.
No reason to lie to anyone that.
Why are you trying to impress this billionaire, dude?
Exactly. He's already made it. He's above you. Exactly.
He's literally above you. Why are you trying to do that? He can't help you if you lie to him.
Fucking read this fucking paper.
What was the paper on?
That's what fucking. I read the structure word.
Oh, you read the structure. You gotta show everybody the paper, bro. You gotta show them what's going on.
We got a video structure for most of the videos.
I would say that that's pretty good for anything long form or informational. That's literally getting it's gonna get pinned to my wall. Like every time I sit down and make a video, that's what I'm going with. It's like literally everything that you need. This is what you call good podcasting.
Time.
No, I turned it off when we walked away.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, put the light down, bro. They're gonna see you.
My lightsaber wasn't on. What the? Technicians always have a routine of what they do with a car. When you pull it, makes it more efficient. And where it's a production company. You know, who produces the most, right? You want to be that top guy. If you're not that top guy, what are you doing? Because everything you want to do, be the best at, right? I want to be the best in the room. So I want to be the best technician. So I want to do the most efficient and most.
You want to be the quickest, but with the most quality. You want to deliver the service or product with quality. So a routine.
Routines, habits. Like it is known to man that like we're going to do this, you know?
Well, that's how the brain makes pathways.
If you pull the car in, you put your lift arms up, pop the hood, lower the window. Like it's like whatever your routine is, you know. So if you put somebody in that environment, you're gonna know. Like I know he's a newbie, seeing him pull the car.
Yeah, if you see somebody looking for shit and they're just fucking off.
Gets out of the car and even seasoned veterans in the technician world, you can see when they fuck their routine up. I've been in there for a really long time, so I can see when they fuck up. And before they know they fucked up, I can see that they fucked up. So when you are in that business mindset and nothing but business consistently, then you're going to be able to point out the flaws that other businesses have.
Oh, yeah, and you'll be able to take advantage of it or help them. It's one of those. Exactly. Objectively, you'll be able to look at it.
Yeah, it's basically just pinpointing the best times to pick out their flaws.
It's like a KPI, basically. It's what we call key performance indicators, and when you can identify these things, you can excel.
You can also do the opposite. So pulling out their flaws, business flaws, you can also their peaks, their strengths. What are they doing really, really well? And let me implement it into my business and to build my.
Well, being able to analyze is a very important skill.
Exactly. For entrepreneurship, you have to be able to analyze and scale. Yeah. Analyze, scale. That is literally all you have to do is analyze and scale, and the growth will come.
That is the name of the game. And if you can do that, that'll take you much farther than most people, because most people do. So that's actually very interesting, because a lot of people will do, and then they'll just run through it and they'll forget it because they didn't they don't want to review it. They don't want to review their fuck up. They're scared if they you really want to be able to go back and critique yourself in not such a negative way, but in a repository way. So wherever you were lacking, do better next time. Get 1% better. And eventually, across the board, you will look much better.
You know that time, you'd sit there, I was very prideful and oh, I did nothing wrong, coach. That's not, and we would have film days, and they'd be like, "Why'd you go in this direction?" I don't know. I was in the moment and it went that way. You know what I mean? Like, I scored, or whatever it may be. Right?
I'm not gonna lie, I was never like that.
You have to like. I was like, dude, like, knock it off. Like, I'm doing you a favor. You know what I mean? I'm here. Like,
You had the cocky mentality because you were good at it, but you weren't. Nobody's perfect.
nobody's perfect. Nobody was a master. You know, so being willing to just swallow that pride and take the criticism. You want to take the criticism and use it to
Your advantage.
your advantage. People can give really shitty criticism, but you can critique it and reword it like everything else in the world. You can revamp whatever they said, basically.
Literally. And it's actually interesting you say that.
Motivation and a positive drive.
Well, it'll just help you in the end. Like, if somebody's pointing something out, granted, if it's just some bullshit and it's not true and you can see that it's not true, blow it off.
Yeah.
But if it legitimately was wrong, if it cost the team a point, if it could have been a better play, take that into consideration and try to implement it next time. It's not going to kill you. And even if you just got embarrassed in front of the whole football team because it was a call out, they are not trying to embarrass you. Guys are guys. Guys are going to laugh. Guys are going to make fun of you, blah, blah, blah. But that's how we get better. At the end of the day, if you just got embarrassed in front of 28 team members because they were showing you a better play that you could have done, implement that play next time. And instead of everybody laughing at you being goofy, they're going to be cheering because you did something right. Exactly. So don't really take it as negative because most of the time it's not, especially if you're doing a team review. Yeah. They didn't pick you out because they're trying to shit on you. Okay. They picked you out because they want everybody to win together. And that's applicable for everything.
100%. I agree with that. I think it's also, to build off of that, if you're in a business meeting and a guy's stumbling and he's giving giving a PowerPoint or poster or like review on sales or whatever, and he's stumbling because his head's not exactly in the game, but he's with you. Yeah. You know, he's your teammate. It's the same thing. It's after you may not take control then, but afterwards you may be, hey, I saw you use these couple words. I think we would have definitely sold it if you would have used these words. If you would have implemented a larger vocabulary, or if you would have held yourself more confidently in there. Next time, instead of going in there and just winging it, I want you to practice 3 nights before.
That's what I did. Kind of like how you said you were very cocky and confident in school and sports. I didn't play sports most of the years. My family knows that.
Yeah.
I didn't play sports until the last 2 years. I was always very skinny. I was not very confident. I was 120 pounds. So when I first started playing sports, I was very open to learning, Like where you were like, oh, I'm here. You should be happy I'm here. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I was the guy who was very quiet. I was like, oh, okay, good. I know I can do that. I know my footwork can be better. I was after hours, 2 hours practicing with my coaches to get better, to get faster. Even now, 5 years later, my physique looks fucking awesome, and that's going to be another talking point. Like, my maintenance and my experience and the way that my body operates is quite supreme compared to most people that don't have 5 years of experience. But all that to say, now, 5 years later, I look great. I'm in the gym. I look as healthy as possible, but I still have weaknesses. Running being one of them. I cheated on in school, I would just go to the girls and I'd be like, can you just put my mile time down for this? And I would just walk the whole thing. I never did the mile. I fucking hated long distance, and I still hate it. But that's a weakness of mine, and as you can see, I've been running 2 to 3 miles a day because it's a weakness, and it needs to get better.
You're gonna.
David said I suck. You said I suck. All of you said my cardio sucks. And I needed to take that, just as the being late shit, I needed to take that critique and improve that. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to suck. It's constructive criticism. And guys don't do this. Some guys do this to be a fucking asshole, but most guys in an inner circle make fun of each other and critique each other to get better.
And even there's going to be hate on any journey that you go down. There's going to be people that are they're going to hate why, whoa, really? You're going to do this instead of do this with us? And those people are the people you cut off immediately. Because if you're going to go in the direction that is your dream, your hope, your passion, your pride, everything that you want to go towards, you should be going towards, and not shying away and listening to somebody giving you constructive criticism that doesn't even impact your life.
Yeah, if it's not going to be impactful to your life, I would completely ignore.
Garbage that we were talking about on like the garbage content, get rid of it. That way you can fully focus on exactly what direction you want to go in life.
One thing I will say about that, so don't mix that up with this. There are going to be people that are going to hate on you, and they're going to be people that try and keep you back. Yeah. Now, you're also going to have another subset of people that have your best interest in mind, and this is like parents. Oh, yeah, no. We're definitely going to do that. That'd be so cool. But, like, let's break this down real quick, because we're going to have people that hate you, hate your life. They don't want to see you succeed. They want to keep you where they are so that your awesomeness stays where they are, and they look cool with you. Those are haters. And then you're going to have...
What are normally examples of those people?
Peons. Oh, what are the examples of those? Like friends, exes. Okay. People and friends in high school that don't have hopes for themselves or have ambitions for themselves. Gotcha. Coworkers who see that you work really hard and they want you to stay there so they can continue to be lazy. Yep. Managers that want you to continue to be lazy and work for them because you're a really hard worker and they don't want you to get better. Yep. That is your subsection of haters and people that don't want you to see better. Yep. Now, there's another subsection of people that I would say, like parents and some family members. They don't understand what you're doing yet. They don't see how it works. This is out of their generation. They're not necessarily hating. They'll give you little feedback here and there. They'll tell you to be careful, or they'll tell you to do more research, but they're supportive of you. And I would say keep these people in your life because these people have your best interest in mind. You want to keep people that have your best interest in mind. Just because they're not in the gym with you 7 days a week, just because they're not right there with you, if they're still supportive, if they're just, like, okay, cool, will you do that? Like, yeah, keep them around. Understand that they're not going to go where you're going to go, but they are still valuable people because they have your best interest in mind. They don't have some greedy little schedule, or they don't have another agenda in the back of their mind that they're trying to do something with you. They're living their life and you're living your life. You guys support each other. The haters are going to have a secondary agenda that they're currently thinking about while telling you this shit, whereas the people that are in your life that have your best interest in mind, they're just giving you their current thoughts because they are concerned for you, your success, and your happiness, and they don't want to see you fall. Those are your two different types of people, and you should take the time to evaluate the people in your life and see where people fall in which category they do fall into. That's like the best way to look at that.
If you don't like the group of people that you have in your life, or the people that are involved in your life, or you think people are holding you back, then they probably need to go.
You probably need to assess that.
Yeah, exactly. You probably need to just get a piece of paper, write down make marks, make boxes, make Venn diagrams. Is that what they call it? Venn diagram.
Do whatever you want. Whatever's gonna help you. If it's visual, do that. If you need a fucking it doesn't matter what you need, whether you need a visual, whether you need verbal, whether you need to go talk to your therapist or whatever it is, whatever helps you turn the gears in your mind to be able to evaluate and look at things objectively is what you need to do. And everybody's going to be built different. No, I'm better at it. Like, I'm going to be very arrogant with this. Like, I am better with maintaining and building my physique. Not to say that I'm a better person. I'm not going to say that I'm better at you than what you do in your job. You might be better. You're better with vehicles than I am now, because I used to be good at that and now I'm not.
Yeah. I very much so surpassed you.
Oh, yeah. The only reason I say that, though, because you work on Lambos and shit now. So it's like, I was working on like Mercedes and BMW, and I was just trying to save myself some money. Sure. You're better than that. You're more inclined.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm more educated in that area, in that field. You are better in that field. So that is.
There's a certain amount of arrogance to it that you have to lead with.
Exactly. So if you are in the safari, or say that there is a lion, that is the lion's ground, right?
Yeah, he is a better predator.
He's a way better predator than you throwing some little rabbit in the forest or something. You know what I mean? Whatever. The rabbit's really good at hiding and getting away. Whatever it may be, he's better in certain fields.
Yeah, everybody's got their field.
Everyone thrives in the environments that we were talking about, whether it's chaos, structure, routine, daily.
Everybody has a strength, I should say. And the only reason that I would say that, well, I like to start with that only because, yes, you need to find your strength. But I like to say this because it triggers people. And when I say I am better than you at training, I'm better at you than nutrition, this has nothing to do with me actually being innately better than you as a person. And it has everything to do with my experience. Now, the fact that I can keep my body under 10% body fat year round, not watch what I eat, not track shit, not do cardio, not go to the gym every day, It is not because I am better than you. It is because I have more experience. I can visually look at a pound of food or a couple ounces of food and know exactly how much protein I'm going to get out of it. I know my body so well. I've done reps after rep after rep. I've gone to the gym. I've gotten sick. I've had injuries. I know how my body responds. I know what my recovery time looks like. So when it comes to the physical maintenance of my body and the experience, that is what makes me better than you, and that's what makes me look better than you as a person. Not that I'm a better person.
You've also already experienced it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's the experience is the biggest part.
I would say mainly the thing that also tells you that you are better than that person, because that person may have not hit a setback. You know what I mean? Imagine someone hasn't hit a setback yet, and they're just like, oh, they're way above you. They're like, oh, I'm lifting this, and it's like, but you're coming back from a setback.
I think the setbacks make you stronger.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's
Even though sometimes they literally make you weaker. Like, they will fuck you.
You had so many setbacks that throw you back into not being able to hit a certain weight, not being able to work out on certain days, not feeling like you can move your shoulder in certain days. That way, those setbacks make you stronger, and this person may be way up here above you, and you're still climbing back from the setback because you were above.
Bro, you and David are over here benching 225, and I'm lifting 5-pound dumbbells trying to warm up my shoulder, dog. Like, that is the craziest thing to me. That's a really big thing that I've learned over the last 3 months.
You also learned that you know that it's a setback, and that it's just a setback, and you're going to.
It's still depressing as fuck.
It is depressing.
But not everybody looks at it that way.
You're comparing it. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be comparing yourself to. Exactly. So if I would have got injured at the same time, you would be like, I'm going to get better than John. You know what I'm saying?
I'm already better than John.
Okay, so if we had the same setback, we're talking same setback, same time, both shoulders get fucked. I don't know how. Just say that we fucking ran into each other or something.
If that was the case, I would be in the gym with you every day, and I would be feeding you the same shit, and I would be sharing my workouts and tips with you. That's what I would be doing.
To be real, to build a brother up.
Yeah, because that's what a guy should do. If you're with your boys,
you would still give me.
I would give you shit every day.
You would still give me. I'm better than you.
Of course I would. Because you know what's going to happen when I say that shit to you? You're going to go behind my fucking back and work harder. You're going to go do shit to make sure that you progress faster. 100%. I mean, depending on the kind of guy you are, because there are some guys that are a little bit more feminine when it comes to, like, I mean, I used to tell my mother, like, the way that she was talking to my little brother at the time was too caring, and it just wasn't enough.
You're gonna make him turn into a bitch. I don't want it.
No, literally, I said that. I was like, it's not gonna be good for him. It's gonna be too soft. He's not gonna have enough real world experience.
So with those people that became more feminine, I would say they were nurtured really well, which is not a knock on their mom. It's really not. It's a loving and caring.
It's just that's their bias. Some people don't have a dad. Some people don't have the dad that say, get the fuck up, fuck your boo-boo.
Exactly.
Not everybody has that. And that's not your fault. No, it's not. But it is a lack of experience in real world because the real world is not very nurturing and it's quite harsh. Yes. But agreed. Kind of
be killed world. I mean,
no, it is.
And if you don't have a couple of people that got your back, then something's going to blindside you. 100% life is
if you're not adaptable, you're going to get blindsided, period.
Period.
One thing that I would like to say, though, before we close this out, touching on injuries, kind of like what we said earlier, advice that I would give on injuries. Like, I have my entire left side of my body is weaker than the right side. I've tore my Achilles, ACL, MCL, my hamstring, my knee, my fucking hip. I've torn my shoulder, my rotator cuff, my rear. I've torn everything on the left side of my body. I was told that I wouldn't be able to walk. I was told I wouldn't be able to run. I was told I wouldn't be able to squat. I was told I would never be as strong in my arm ever again. And the thing about it is, I believe that injuries can make you stronger as a man. Yeah. Because, well, first of all, this is a very big one. As a man, being innocent will never do anything for you. Being inexperienced will never do anything for you. Yeah. Not knowing will not do anything for you as a man. And the thing about it is, with certain experiences, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get hurt. If you don't know what you're doing in the gym and you're ego lifting, you're going to get hurt.
You also, I will say there's probably some things that with those injuries that you have occurred, it's all a learning experience and learning curve, because if say you didn't stretch that day and you're like, fuck, I really should have probably stretched that day, and you fucked your shoulder because of that. Yeah, or
Well, now you know not to do that shit anymore, so it's not going to happen again.
learning experience. But giving up and saying, oh, I did it to myself, I'm the cause of this, it's not worth getting back to.
I would say half of what you just said is what you need to do. You need to blame yourself and you need to reevaluate. The other half of I can't get back is what you should not do.
No, exactly. So I did this to myself, so I'm going to fix it.
How did this happen? What was I feeling before that? How did this injury occur? Did I know?
What did I do going into the workout, knowing that I was ego lifting? I was pissed off. I went to the gym angry, and I was just like, fuck this weight, I'm gonna throw it around, and you injure yourself. A lot of people do that based off emotions.
No, they do. They definitely do. And kind of to wrap everything up, because we could talk about this for fucking hours, but going off of a little bit of these injuries, I've torn everything up, and I believe the injuries can make you stronger if you look at it properly. Every single time I've injured myself and every single time somebody said that I will never be able to do something again, it pisses me off. Every single time I think about I'm not going to look as good as I did. Every single time I think about I'm not going to have the same abilities that I had before. Every single time that I have achieved something monumental in my life and it's being taken from me, that has made me work 5 to 10 times harder to get the fuck back. That has made me 5 times more careful. That has made me do more warm-ups. That has made me eat more quality food to make sure it repairs correctly. That has made me work harder and more consistent to get back to where I was.
Also made you do more work than the other guy, knowing that you have
That's facts. That is facts. Because the other guy is just coasting.
Well, yeah, 100%. He's comfortable because he hasn't had that setback yet. So
That is actually a really good point. That is actually really funny.
knowing that, oh, damn, John doesn't have to wake up and massage his shoulder like a little bitch, man. I got to get my ass and fucking massage my shoulder, get in the gym, and lift more weight than he may. And no, you're not going to go to the gym and ego lift. You're going to go to the gym and strength build.
Dude, I was in the gym for the first month.
And I was
Did you see what I was doing? After the shoulder?
just straight light cable pulls.
Oh, bro, you didn't even see it, dog. When I went to the gym because the first month was all recovery and fucking bands. The second month, my brother was in there. Yeah, I had little 5-pound weights and I was trying to like warm up my shoulders and shit. I couldn't do push-ups. I couldn't do raises. I couldn't do any of the shit that I used to. I used to do push-ups, like crazy shit, flying out of the air, Superman push-ups. I used to do flipping. Like, I couldn't do any of that
Those were
shit.
ego lifting.
No, it wasn't. It was just me, like, trying to make shit harder. Because in the gym, you have to progressively get harder. But seeing my brothers watch me like a little weak bitch was embarrassing as fuck. The fact that I couldn't do a push-up in front of them, I was like, bro, I'm going to get this fucking push-up. I'm going to work hard. Because that is just... Not only is it embarrassing, but that should really just be motivational for anybody. Like, if you can't even do what you did before, not only for yourself, but for the people that look up to you, for the people on Instagram that look to my shit. I didn't post anything with my shirt off for, 4 months? My views went down. Everything regressed. Because they didn't follow me to see me in fucking Lambos and dressed all up and shit. They followed me because they saw the physique that I was doing. They saw what I was eating to get there. So it's like, setbacks can make you stronger. You just have to take advantage of it, and you have to evaluate the situation that you're in correctly to get back to where you were, if not better.
So to wrap that up, that would basically fall under the lines of be truthful to yourself. That is 1% better. I mean, that is
1% better every day. It doesn't matter if I can just do one more band back shit.
Yeah. Or one more push up, one more band back shit, whatever that is. But to wrap it up, it's basically the 1% better is reevaluating your life, get rid of the garbage so you can get 1% better. Don't lie to yourself or lie to others. For what reason?
It doesn't save or help anybody.
Your health and know your situation. Like know where you are at in life and what point you need. And those 3 things, if you can take all of those 3 things every single day and just kind of re-say them to yourself.
You need to talk to yourself on a daily basis. That's another thing, bro.
You'll know which direction you're supposed to go without asking someone, without someone telling you or someone pushing you in the right direction. You may need a push, but you have to be truthful with them and you have to tell them exactly the situation. You have to tell them the exact situation you were in. I don't have the money for this.
You need to make these common practices.
Every day I go home and I just sit on the video game and I just can't. I have an addiction or whatever it may be. You need to address it, and that way they can tell you what you need to change.
Reevaluating. Okay. This is one very big thing that I want everybody, I want every fucking man out there to hear this clearly. Get used to talking to yourself like a crazy man. The internet, people, parents, everybody says that talking to yourself is weird. It makes you crazy. It's not good for yourself. The thing about it is,
in a certain instance, yes.
No. I think it's completely wrong.
Devalue yourself. Okay, no, we're gonna have this discussion right here in disagreement. If I am talking right now, because if you're saying that talking to yourself
It's important.
is important to a certain extent. If I wake up every day and say I'm not gonna be shit, or if I'm looking at someone else's life and saying there's so much fucking further ahead of me, I can't, and that's what I'm telling myself, and I'm like putting myself in situations where I'm like, there's no way I'm going to ever achieve that. There's no way I'm ever going to get this car. I'm never going to get this amount of money. I'm never going to have these nice things. I'm not that type of person. I came from, like, if you're speaking these things to yourself, you can speak it into existence. Whatever you think you can achieve, if you tell yourself every day that I can do this, you tell yourself you can run 3 miles in 15 minutes, 3 miles in under 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
You haven't done it yet, have you? No, but you could tell yourself that you could.
It's a 15-minute pace. There's nobody who can run 3 miles in under 15 minutes. Actually, no, there probably is. That's a 5-minute average pace.
I ran 4:58 fucking mile times in high school.
Well, I'm talking about like you have to do it every mile though. You have to do it every fucking mile. That's the crazy part.
Okay, so then relap it up. Say you want a 15-minute pace for 3 miles. If you haven't hit that yet, but you tell yourself, my knee, man, you tell yourself, man, I can't go. There's no way I'm going to be able to make it. And there's no way I'm going to hit this 15-minute pace. It's unachievable. Then in your mind, you're going to tell yourself that it's unachievable. Your body's going to think it's unachievable because your mind thinks it's unachievable. So if you can expand your mind into, yes, 15 minutes is possible. This guy has done it. This guy has had this pace. This guy has had this pace. I can achieve it. It's possible. I'm going to go through the same things they're doing to become 15 minutes pace. It's the same thing. So if you can speak good terminology to yourself, speaking good with yourself is amazing versus...
It's very good.
It's very good to speak to yourself. But negativity, the garbage of negativity is impossible. It's impossible to further yourself while negative
you can't have negative energy flowing, bro. What I will say to you is that everything that you just said is correct.
Yeah.
Now, kind of what I was talking about with speaking to yourself, I believe it is good to have positive and good conversations with yourself. You can ask that question right after. I think it is very important to have these conversations with yourself for 2 reasons. You need to have negative conversations and you need to have good conversations. You need to have these negative, where you were talking about talking shit to yourself. You need to have these conversations, and I need you as a man to feel bad, and I need you to feel horrible that these things are your reality. And then what you need to do, write that shit down. Write everything that you feel bad down. Write what you have control over, write what you don't have control over, write what you can do about it, and write what you can't do about it. And the reason I say it's important to have these conversations, like after the gym, there's no music. When I go for walks, there's no music. There are many, many times throughout the day that I sit in complete silence because I've realized that the times I'm in complete silence is the best time. And the reason it is important to sit in silence as a man is because we are infiltrated by so much external bullshit. Constant information, like your phone, the 5G streaming, you're being streamed thousands of data points to your brain every fucking second you're on your phone. Yep. But quiet time is extremely important for self-reflection, for reevaluation, for evaluating yourself, situations. It is very important to speak to yourself negatively and positively, but most important, it is important to speak to yourself with control over your thoughts and mind. As we all know, AT said, the only thing you have control over is your mind. You can think those negative thoughts and you can have them because they're really realizations. You don't have to be a derogatory asshole to yourself. Yeah. But when you have these negative thoughts, I really want you to think about it. I want you to evaluate, and I want you to feel it. Feel the fucking burn. Feel the fire. Feel why you feel bad. But the biggest thing, bro, is in today's society, every single person is told talking to yourself. Every single person is told the fuck. Every single person, every single man in society is told that it is wrong to speak to yourself, that you're crazy, that there's no reason you should talk to yourself. If you're talking to yourself, that's wrong. Don't listen to that shit. I want you to talk to yourself. I want you to have conversations in your head, even if it's just like very simple. After the gym, I could be thinking about what I could have done better. But I will say, sometimes it is nice to just sit there and talk to yourself. Like in the beginning, because before I would always listen to music and get on my phone and distract myself, I would never give myself time in my head alone. And most men don't give themselves time in their head alone because they're scared or they don't want to, or it's just a habit. But one thing I want you to do, in the very beginning when I started talking to myself and I don't remember where I heard that it was good to talk to yourself, I would literally sit there in my head and say, I'm talking to myself. Am I fucking crazy? Are you crazy? Dude, look at your fucking stuff. Like, I would literally just have a fucking conversation with myself. Do this once a day, please. Having a conversation with yourself is one of the most interesting, eye-opening conversations that you will ever have. Well, muscle-mind connection is a whole different thing, but body and mind, well, this is a mind-to-mind. This is mind-to-mind that nobody has nowadays, bro. Nobody talks to themselves. Bro, I can't even explain how powerful it is to have a conversation with your inner conscience.
Imagine how many things could have been made or have became just because they voiced it out and actually remembered.
Oh, yeah. Or wrote it down.
Yeah, exactly. How many things have you came across like, oh, I think I thought of this before. I just didn't write it down. And then that idea is gone forever because you didn't write it
Or
down.
somebody else's.
Or someone else's idea.
Somebody else with a relatively same experience of yours. That's why I have 3 phones. This nigga looked over at me. He said,
I was like, we talked about, I asked you why you had 2 phones. And then I realized there's actually 3 phones here.
it's actually funny because I had 3 phones because we're recording one of the angles with the iPhone 15. Then I have my other 15 and then I have my 13. So I was going to have 2 phones on the table so that you would ask that question, but it looks like we have 3 phones. But I would say that wraps it up. We had an excellent conversation, maybe not too back and forth. Wanted to answer some questions of your guys's, but I do hope that you guys enjoyed the podcast today. This is the first official episode of the 1%. We're going to figure out the name. You guys are going to help us figure it out. You guys are going to help us figure out topics. But we really enjoyed actually sitting here, digging into some things. This was definitely one of our longer episodes. It was over an hour at this point, I'm sure. Yeah. Took a little pee break in the middle of it. Remember to go ahead, time yourself in the morning. I want to know the average.
For 7 days.
This is for men. This is for all of my men who feel like being a fucking weirdo. Time yourself in the morning. How long is your morning piss, okay? That's going to be the fucking thing you leave here today.
Just average it.
Yeah, 7 days, average your piss. I'm being 100% serious. Like, it's not weird. All guys do it. All guys talk about it. All guys think about it. This is my podcast. I want you guys to average your piss in the morning for 7 days and comment below. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed the podcast, and we will see you guys in the next episode.